All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sit Down, Shape Up with Teresa. And what we'll need today is a pillow or ball or towel or free set of a set of free weights or a water bottle. That's what I was trying to combine water bottles. So I was thinking wet. Water bottles or cans of soup or a free weight, a dumbbell. And I would suggest a weight that's comfortable for you, that feels like it's giving you a little bit of a challenge. And if you feel like you've been doing that already, start to increase the weight. So in other words, 2 water bottles instead of 1, or increasing the free weights that you're using, going from a 2 or a 3 to a 4 or a 5 and so forth. All right, so just a ball or a pillow and free weights. And let's go ahead and get started. I'll prop you guys up right here. Hopefully it's not too sunny. It's nice to have that problem of it being too sunny, right? We'll start with ankles, knees, and hips facing forward, and a back tip of ear, shoulder, and hip in a nice tall S-curve neutral alignment. So a nice lifted posture and a braced core. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Inhale. So today's theme, other than working with balls or pillows and weights or water bottles, we're going to be working on a variety of exercises from the top of our head to the tips of our fingers and toes. And if you guys know Sit Down and Shape Up, and if you guys know me, you know we're going to get into some pretty interesting, tiny, small, undiscovered muscle groups in our body, or muscle groups that aren't always worked on a regular basis. And we'll take a deep breath and exhale one more time. Inhale and exhale, and then roll the right shoulder back and then the left. And if you feel comfortable alternating your shoulders, keep it here. And if you'd like to incorporate circling your right ankle, so this is a little bit of a brain teaser. Right ankle circling around to the outside and shoulders circling back. I'm having a very hard time with this. So give it your best shot. Circle the ankle around as you circle those shoulders. And now keep the shoulders going in that direction and circle the ankle inward. So keep on going back and circle the ankle inward. Wow, that's hard. Dusting off some brain cells, making some new pathways. Okay, it might take a few. The first few might be a bit wonky. That's okay. Circle around and relax. March it out. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Let's try the other side. So let's just start circling the left shoulder and the right, alternating. If you prefer doing both at the same time, it's a little bit more of a workout, a little more for the upper body, going both at the same time, but will be easier when we start to circle the joint around. So either or is fine. Alternate left and right and circle the ankle around. All right, you may have found the other side to be a little more challenging or a little less challenging. This might be the more challenging side. That's okay. It's all right. Nobody's watching. And let's go for 4 more. 4 and 3. Keep going, but circle inward. So the shoulders continue back. This is where it gets tricky. Shoulders continue back and your ankle starts to go inward. So if it feels unnatural and a little wonky and not so comfortable, that's a good thing. So we're definitely going outside of the box, definitely doing something that's not so typical. And it's good to put ourselves in that situation every now and again. And relax, and then march it out. Something familiar and nice and relatively easy. Inhale and exhale. Place your hands right there on the thighs. Your ankles should be slightly behind the knees, not way, way back, and not under the knees or forward, just slightly behind the knees, just so that you can get a really good grounded base of support. Your sits bones right there on the edge of a sturdy chair. So feeling comfortable, really secure, lengthen the spine, continue with a nice lifted posture, and look over the right shoulder. Look right and look left. And try to keep the shoulders isolated and very still, looking straight ahead. So in other words, try not to let the shoulders peek over the shoulder or peek over that hip, side to side. Keep it isolated. Toes, knees, hips, navel, shoulders, and chest remains looking forward, right into that computer, right into your phone. And two more. 2 and 1. And then look straight ahead. Roll both shoulders back a few times. And then roll both shoulders forward a few times. And then roll the shoulders back just once so the chest remains open and shoulders down and back. Now apply a little bit of pressure by kind of pushing your feet into the floor and then feeling that you have a little feedback coming up through your thighs. With that, you want to add a little pressure of the hands, fingers and palms onto your thighs. So you're creating a nice braced position. And then now with that brace, look left and look right. Look left and look right. Working through the upper chest and back, working through the neck, all the way to the base of the skull. And then 2 more, looking left and looking right. And then look straight ahead. Take the right foot forward, left leg back, arms at your side, and you're going to lift and lower your shoulders. Perfect posture, lengthened posture, and your arms are just coming straight up and down. And now along with this, as long as you're feeling comfortable in your alignment and feeling balanced, and your lower back isn't feeling especially sensitive, add a right knee lift. So my right leg remains at 90 degrees. And as I shrug my shoulders up, I'm lifting and lowering my right thigh from my hip. So the knee comes up and down. And I'm placing my heel or the whole foot down to the floor just for a second and then right back up. And let's go for 4 more. 4 and 3, 2 and 1. And then let's just change legs. So now bringing the left leg forward slightly, arms at your side, roll the shoulders back down and back, lifting and lowering, shoulder shrugs for the shoulders and upper body, and now lower body. So you're hinging right there from that left hip. I'm taking my 90-degree angle leg and I'm bringing it straight up and down. And my foot is clearing the floor about 6 or so inches. But if you want to lift the foot up only about a ½ inch to an inch, that's fine too. We're working our lower abdominal core, hip flexor, a little bit through the quad, and the outer lower leg, the shin. And let's just do a handful more. And 1 more. And then march it out. Take 2 deep breaths. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Hands back onto the thighs. Keep the legs marching. And march with toes pointing inward. Now you can keep the hands there. Relax them at your side or pump them at your side like you're jogging. Forward and back. So in other words, you don't want to go across the midline of the body, whether you're out walking about, walking or hiking or jogging. You want to go straight ahead, forward and back. Your shoulders are hinging from your arms are hinging from the shoulder like a little pendulum. So your arms are just moving forward and back comfortably, and then turn the toes out. And then turn the toes towards me, towards your phone, towards your computer, towards your television, and pigeon toe again, keeping the arms forward and back. You don't want to break the flow of the momentum of your body motion going forward when you're actually doing this out and about. So you want to keep it forward and back just to keep that forward motion going. And then toes are out to the side. Keep pumping. And then toes facing forward. And relax. Take 2 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Place the hands right there on the thighs. The ankles are slightly behind the knees. And again, try to get some feedback from the floor. So you're pressing down from the big toe all the way to the pinky toe, pressing and kind of grabbing the floor with the pads of your toes. And the fingers as well as the palms are pressing down onto the thighs. Now we're going to scapular retraction. Stay lifted and tall in the upper body. Tilt your head to the right. Hold for a second, and then come all the way through center and tilt your head to the left. So it's up, 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 over to the right, and up, 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 and over to the left. So you want to feel like you're getting a little bit of a traction stretch throughout the whole spine. Lengthen the head, up, 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 over to the left, right, and then up, 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 and over to the left. And let's do 2 more, 2, and then 1, and hold it. Make sure that your ear, shoulder, hip alignment is going straight up to the ceiling and straight down into the chair. Now, all we're going to do is notice, how does that feel on this side of the neck? The ear pulling away from the shoulder and the shoulder relaxing down away from the ear. So if it feels like a nice stretch, remain there. If it feels like it's a little too much, bring your head up a little bit. But if you want a little bit more, all you're going to do is reach that right arm down to the floor. So the weight of your arm is going to pull the muscles throughout the upper chest and back, top of the shoulders, the neck, and you should feel a deeper stretch. And the surface area of what you're stretching should increase as well. And inhale and exhale. Now, if you want to go a little farther, flex your palm. So heels down, fingertips up. The heel of the palm is down, fingertips are up. And notice what that does. It should increase the stretch a little bit more. And 1 more breath. And exhale. Allow your arm to relax down. And now tilt your head or your chin towards your left shoulder. So now we're looking down at the floor. If you feel like, oh, that's a little too much, place both hands on your thigh. If you feel like, oh, no, that feels good, I'm going to continue to reach my right arm down to the floor to increase the stretch. And then if you want to increase it a bit more, flex your palm. Inhale and exhale. And 1 more, in and exhale. Relax both hands right there onto the thighs. Slowly roll the head center and over to the right, and down center and over to the left. Center, over to the right, and center and over to the left. And then look straight down between the knees and straight ahead. Then march it out, 2 deep breaths. Exhale, and once more, in and exhale. Let's start in position 1 right here. Then the right ear goes down to the shoulder, ear to shoulder on the right side, stretching the left side of the neck. Sometimes if our muscles are tight, the back starts to round and the shoulders start to roll forward, because if this muscle is tight and these muscles are tight, it's sort of with the movement stretching, it's going to carry those body parts to the tight area, or away, towards. It's going to be all locked up. You're going to be all locked up. So let's unlock and lengthen. So try to maintain that sloping release on the left side now. So hand here or hand here. Take a couple more breaths and exhale. 1 more, in Exhale. Let's take it a step farther. Flex your palm. Allow that tension and a little extra energy going through the heel of that left palm down to the floor to enjoy the stretch on the left side and keep the right side as relaxed as possible. And then inhale and exhale, and one more. Nice deep breath. And relax. Relax this arm and then tuck your chin right towards your right shoulder. And notice the stretch move from the side of the neck towards the back of the neck. On the left side, but still it's towards the back. And then reaching the fingertips down a bit more. Stay lifted, remain lifted in the spine. And then adding intensity by flexing your palm. And this is a stretch and also a strengthening exercise. So we're actually working on the muscles in the upper portion of the body. The neck, the jaw, the base of the neck, upper chest, upper back, shoulders. When there's tension, there's an ability to work and strengthen. And then relax. Place both hands on the thighs, slowly roll the head to the left and slowly roll the head to the right. And just notice how your neck feels. Notice how all of the muscles in the upper body feel. Pretty activated, definitely warmed up, and hopefully a little looser than about 5 or 10 minutes ago. And looking right down to the floor, look straight ahead, march it out, take 2 deep breaths, and exhale. And then one more, inhale, and exhale. Arms are at your side. We're going to keep the marches going, pump the arms, get that blood pumping again. And then we're going to focus on our feet for just a few minutes before we get started. March, march, march. Shoulders are moving. And relax. Arms are at your side. So now creep a little closer to the edge of your seat if you need a little bit more range of motion for the lower body. If it feels like you're too close to the edge, go back a little bit, about a ½ inch to an inch, and then start pedaling the feet. So in order to get the heels to lift up, it's hard to lift them if your ankles are way back underneath your chair or underneath your thighs. So you bring your feet up ahead a little bit. So your ankles are just slightly behind your knees. And pedal through the feet. Great. And now we're going to go through a heel, ball, toe, curl the toe under exercise on the right side to start. So we've loosened up our feet. Now let's lift them right. You're going from the heel to the ball to the toe, curl the toe under, back to the toe, ball, and heel. So it's heel up, ball, toe, curl the toe under, toe, ball, heel. And do that a few more times. And if you're having a hard time getting the range of motion you need, bring that foot back a little bit farther, like a ½ inch to an inch, and see if that helps. Couple more. And this is an exercise that you can do for your feet every day. And relax. Shake out the feet a little bit, and let's do the same thing on the other side. So it's heel, ball, toe, curl the toes under, toe, ball, and heel. Heel, ball, toe, curl the toes under, toe, ball, and heel. And again, continue with this for a few more repetitions. Couple more should do it. Strengthening the 20 or so muscles in our feet and toes. And last one, lift way up. Stretch the top of the foot and relax. And then march it out. 2 deep breaths. And exhale. And one more. And exhale. So let's just move up the chain here. So we worked on our feet. Let's go into our shins, tops of the front of the ankles and the back of the ankles, lower leg, and the gastrocs, your calves. Your hands are on your thighs. You're hinging forward just a little bit, and you're pushing into your thighs as you're lifting your heels up. So I'm creating a little bit of motion, kind of a little momentum, but I'm pressing down as hard as I can just to add a little more resistance for your calves, a little bit more of my body weight, and press. I'm not hoisting my shoulders, and I'm not caving my chest in and rounding my back or jutting my chin. I still want to stay lifted and tall in my posture. And let's go for 4 more. And 3, 2, 1, and up and hold. So press your big toe into the floor. When you lift really high, the tendency is the feet do turn out a little bit. They sickle. So lift really high, high, high on those heels. Shoulders are down, pressing into the big toe. And you should feel some nice bottom of the foot activation and the calf. And then slowly lower down. Now, move your legs a little farther forward so they're not right underneath your knees or slightly behind. They're slightly in front of the knees. Apply the pressure, lengthen lifted spine, lift and lower, lift and lower. We're flexing our feet over and over. If you'd like to activate the bottom of your foot, the top of your toes, and the top of your foot a bit more, splay the toes out. So take a second to spread your toes as far out as you can get them. Spread them way out. Spread them way out. And you'll probably start to feel a really good workout for the outer lower leg, tibialis anterior. And spread those toes out and spread those toes out. Let's do 8 more. 8, 7, really stretch. 6. And this is really work, guys. This is not easy. It may take a few weeks to a few months to set up that mind-muscle pathway. It has to go pretty far. And our feet are really tucked away nicely in nice, warm, fluffy socks and well-supported, very supportive shoes, especially in the winter. So it may take a little bit of time to kind of wake the feet up and have them move about and get some range of motion. And 2 more. Spread those toes out, and 1 more. Good. And then tap the toes. Tap and tap. And if you feel it's a bit too much, take a little bit of a break. Just relax your feet, circle them around. And now, like windshield wipers, out and in, out and in. So the toes touch right in the middle, and the toes are going as far away from each other when you're rotating from the hip, the knee, and the ankle. Rotate out and in. And let's do 8 more. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And march it out. Take a nice deep breath. A very full workout for your feet, toes, ankles, and lower legs, calves and shins. Very important muscles to really work out so that we can keep our balance, mobility, flexibility, and strength for when we're walking about, doing our chores, whatever it is we're doing on our feet. And 1 more, and exhale. A really quick stretch. Take the toes of the right foot, come way up on top of the tippy toes, and then bring those toes by the heel of your left leg. So your heel of the left leg, have the toes of your right foot right next to it, and then you're curling the toes under and pressing forward. So you're trying to get the toes and the tops of your feet right on top of the floor. Of course, mostly it will not go. The toes probably, but that's what your visual is. Try to press the top of the foot down into the floor. And if you start to get a little cramp, back out of it. And then press right underneath your nose. Sometimes that helps. It helps cut off a Charlie horse or a cramp. Not always, but it's worth a shot. And then slowly ease back. And same thing on the other side. Tips of toes of that left foot. Those toes go by the right heel. And then you're pressing the tops of the toes And imagine the top of the foot is coming right down onto the floor, and try to keep it on the straight and narrow. So not out to the side, not sickling and twisting, just straight ahead. And again, you get that little cramp or a big one, place your index finger right underneath your nose, right above the top lip, and press into the gums, right above your front teeth. And that can really help sort of have a cramp dissipate, hopefully. And then ease back. And then march it out. Take a nice deep breath and exhale and inhale and exhale. All right, grab your towel, roll it up into a little ball, grab your ball, place it between your knees, and then slowly and safely get making sure your weights are close to your body. Lift one up at a time, one water bottle up at a time, and then one in each hand. Let's start with the smaller muscle groups. We'll start with the wrist and the forearm. So ankles are underneath your knees, maybe slightly behind. Squeeze the ball nice and tight, activating the inner thigh. So you're already starting out with a nice lower body plank or lower body contraction. Palms are facing up and your arms are in a 90-degree angle. Roll the shoulders back. Release the wrists down and then curl the wrists up. Release the wrists down and curl the wrists up. So my forearm doesn't change. The alignment doesn't change. My forearm remains parallel to the ceiling and the wall, ceiling and the floor. My elbow is right underneath my shoulder. And I have my scapular retraction to draw my shoulders down and back. My spine is lengthening up to the ceiling. The bottom of my chin is parallel to the floor, just like my forearms. And my S-curve neutral spine is braced, ready for action. And these are called wrist curls. So you can add a little bit more oomph and a little more work to this exercise by making a fist and squeezing the center bar. Just keep your breath moving. Do not hold your breath. Let's do a few more. Continue squeezing the ball between your inner thighs, creating a nice rock solid base for the lower body. And one more. And neutral, and please place your weights down onto your thighs. Roll your shoulders back. If you need to give the legs a little break, just relax your thighs, and a very small amount of pressure will hold the ball or a pillow into place. And if it falls down, that's okay. You can pick it up. And let's do a second set. So we're going to do a second set of a wrist curl. Same exercise that we just completed. Palms are facing up. Roll the shoulders down and back, long lengthened spine, a little squeeze on that ball, release the wrists and curl. And you're ready to start working with more intensity? Great! Squeeze that center bar, squeeze it, squeeze it. Keeping the chest open and proud. Scapular retraction. Long S-curve neutral spine, braced core, navel to spine, just a handful more. Here we go, guys. Neutral and relax. Good. Roll the shoulders back. Woo! And take your right foot forward a little bit, the left leg back a little bit. So you're in a staggered stance. So basically the toes of my left foot are about to this in the same line with my heel. So the toes of my left foot in line with my right heel. So I'm in a staggered stance. I'm compressing that ball. I took a little break as I transitioned from one exercise to another. Now we're going to work on biceps. So we're moving up the arm. hand and wrist, forearm. Now we're getting into the bicep. We're still working a little bit of the front shoulder and a little bit of the wrist and forearm, but we're really focusing on the center of the upper arm, the bicep. Roll the shoulders back, keep your checkpoints of alignment, squeeze the ball, and up and down we go. Palms are facing forward, and it's not going to hurt you, and it's not bad to turn your palms out a little bit. It may feel more comfortable. Ergonomically, it might just be better for your body, the way you were put together. So that's absolutely fine. Otherwise, we're going to keep it on the straight and narrow facing forward. It packs a little bit more of a punch in the bicep than the position that I showed moments ago, right out here, but you'll still be getting your bicep. If you were not activating and your bicep wasn't being engaged and working, you wouldn't be lifting your arm up and down. So a lot of times people say, I don't know if I'm working the right muscle. And if they're lifting their arm up and down like this, they are. That muscle is responsible for this motion. So you just might not be aware of it, and just put your mind's eye into the muscle that we're working and try to imagine that it's harder work than it really is. And that should help fire it up for you. And let's go for 4 more. Keep breathing. And then place the hands and weights right on your thighs. Change legs. So you're sliding your left foot forward, then the right foot kind of heads back a little bit, still within train track, hip width apart positioning. And you're going to do a second set. So your palms are facing forward or slightly up to the side if that feels more comfortable. Tall lengthened posture, braced core, squeeze the ball, and up and down we go. Exhale upon exertion. So you're exhaling on the way up. Inhaling when your arms are resisting gravity on the way down. So this is a concentric, then eccentric contraction. Concentric, eccentric. If you're going slowly with control and thought, you're actually working harder both ways. You're going up and down slowly. Resistance up, resistance down. So that muscle has an opportunity to work twice within the same repetition. And let's go for a handful more, 4 more. Keep breathing. And relax. All right. Place the weights right on your thighs and keep the ball between the inner thighs. Scapular retraction and just hinge forward just a little bit. We're going to focus on our adductors, the muscles that can squeeze the ball. But we're going to squeeze the ball as hard as we possibly can. So nice deep breath. Brace your core and then squeeze the ball and hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release gently, but still keep a little grip on the ball. Inhale, exhale, and squeeze 4. Keep exhaling 3. Don't hold your breath. 2 and 1, and relax. Inhale. Again, exhale, squeeze the ball. Squeeze a little harder. Squeeze even harder, and relax. Inhale. Exhale and squeeze. Feel the inner thighs and the groin. Inhale, or exhale, sorry. Exhale, exhale. Now inhale, relax. 4 more. Exhale, squeeze. Think of the pelvic floor Kegel. We'll keep squeezing, 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 and inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze the ball. Squeeze the ball a bit harder. Feel the ball kind of compress. Feel the intensity of the right thigh, the left thigh. Squeeze and relax. Last 2 repetitions. Exhale and squeeze. Squeeze the ball harder. If something doesn't feel right, definitely relax, take a little break, and relax. One more deep breath. Exhale and squeeze. Keep bracing the core, navel to spine, tall posture. Two more. And one, and relax. Hold on to the ball with the left or right hand and just march out the legs, placing the weights where the crease of your hips, at the crease of your hips. All right, and give your right foot a little shake and then the left foot a little shake. Place the ball right back between the knees. Take your right foot slightly ahead of the left. So train track legs, toes of my left foot to the heel of my right. The arms are down by your side. So we worked hand, wrist, forearm, bicep. Now we're going to work on the back of the shoulder, the muscles in the back, the lats, a little bit in the lats, the traps, and the rhomboids between the shoulder blades. So we're hinging from our hip, getting a little bit of an angle, 5 to 10 degrees, and then pull the elbows up and hold, and then press the arms down. Pull the elbows up and hold, and press. And when you're pulling the elbows up, give a good squeeze on the ball. Squeeze, 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 and then release the squeeze on the ball. Squeeze, 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 and release. When your elbows are up, shoulders are down, and your shoulder blades are contracting together as tight as you can possibly get them. And really try to create a new pattern for posture in your body, so that'll train the back of the shoulders to contract and stretch the front of the shoulders. It'll train the arms to be comfortable behind your body, instead of being in the front plane, the back of the body, and then having the shoulder blades down, in, and into the body for posture. Let's do two more. Pull the arms, squeeze the ball, 2, and down. Pull the elbows, squeeze the ball, 1, and down. And then place the weights on your thighs, and let's just roll the shoulders out a little bit, back and forward, and then roll back once to set the posture. Let's take the left foot forward, right leg back. Palms are facing the outer thighs, shoulders down and back, chin to chest, hinge forward 5 to 10 degrees, and then inhale, exhale, elbows up and in, squeeze the ball. And then slowly release the squeeze of the ball as the arms are coming down. Up and back and squeeze. And down. Up and back, down and in with the scapula. And down. Elbows up, shoulder blades down and in. Hold, squeeze the ball. And down. We're training the posture to be lifted and tall. We're training our back to be nice and strong and supportive, not only for our upper body, our head and shoulders, but our lower back, pelvis. Woo! Squeeze and squeeze. And down. Let's just do a handful more. Last 4. And down. Squeeze the ball harder, harder, harder still, as well as the shoulder blades. And down. 2 more. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And down. And 1 more. And down. Place the weights on the thighs. Come on up to seated. Grab the ball or pillow with your right hand. Place the weights in the ball at the crease of your hips and just march it out a little bit. Getting that circulation going. Relax your feet and circle your shoulders back a few times. And forward a few times. And back once to set the posture. Okay, so now we're going to go even farther down. We hit the upper back upper back, mid back, and the lats in the upper back. Now we're going to get into the erector spinae, the muscles along each side of the vertebrae. So these muscles are very important to keep that spine in a nice, lifted, strong alignment. Arms are either on your thighs or by your side. Your heels are slightly behind your knees. So in other words, not right underneath, but slightly back. Squeeze the ball to brace your core. Then from an imaginary dowel in your hip, you're going to take your body forward and you're going to come up and back. You're going to take your body forward and then up and back. So it's a hinge exercise. We're hinging from our hips. We're sending our torso forward with a very lifted, strong alignment. And then we're coming right back up to a nice, tall, seated position. And our shoulders are going back. And our shoulder blades are going back and down. So this is working, again, the lower back, the erector spinae. You'll also feel a bit in the hips and the glutes, as well as the lower abdominal. So your abdominal core. All these muscles work together in maintaining a tall, lifted posture, and also the body in motion. So when you're bending forward to pick weeds in the spring, or to plant flowers, or to bend down and grab a grocery bag, we want all these muscles to be there, awake, alert, flexible, lubricated, strong, and ready to do whatever it is that we need to do safely, without injury, and more easily. Continue to pull the navel in towards the spine and up towards the sternum. Let's do a handful more. Take a break, because this exercise is quite challenging, especially while squeezing the ball or pillow. 2 more. And 1 more. Relax the grip on the ball and roll the right shoulder back and the left. So this is a weighted shoulder roll. We did this a little bit throughout our exercise series, but we also did it as a warm-up. Once you add a weight, it turns into a rotator cuff exercise. So we're really traveling up the body now. We did our hand and wrist. We did our forearms. We did our biceps. We did our back. And now we're getting back into that rotator cuff. Or we're adding our rotator cuff, I should say. And let's go for 8 more, guys. Here we go. 8, 7. Keep lifting the posture. And relax. Place the weights on your thighs. Take 2 deep breaths. A gentle, gentle grip on the ball or pillow. Inhale and exhale. Try to relax those hard-working muscles just for a few seconds. Inhale and exhale. 2 more times. And exhale. 1 more time. In and exhale. So we are doing 2 sets of every exercise. So we have 1 more set of that hinge exercise to go. So our ankles are slightly behind the knees. You're squeezing the ball as hard as you can to create this nice, strong, stable base of support. Arms are at your side or on your thighs if you need a little breather. Shoulder blades hinge from the imaginary dowel in the hip, 5 to 10 degrees. And then back. And you're not really going back. You're just going to a nice, tall, lengthened alignment. So like a chair back pose, not a back hyperextension. It wouldn't hurt you, it wouldn't be wrong, but I'm just focusing a little bit more on just the front of the abdominals and the hips and the lower back in the forward flexion versus back extension. We'll get there if we have time. I promise you. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Continue to squeeze the ball as hard as you can. Brace your core. And if you say to yourself, if your body is telling you, I can't do another one, then take a little break. Congratulations, you've reached failure, which is ultimate fatigue. You do want to push the muscles to that point of ultimate fatigue, and that's a wonderful way to build strength. And let's go for a handful more, guys. Here we go. And 4 more. Chest is proud. 3. Scapular retraction. 2. Feel your core, abdominals and hips. And 1. Woo, that was a workout. Relax the grip on the ball. Take 2 deep breaths. Exhale and inhale and exhale. And now let's roll the shoulders forward, left and right, left and right. You can come from behind a bit, circle from the back and come forward. And let's go for 8 more. 8, 7, and then roll both shoulders forward 4 times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then roll the shoulders back once. Take the ball and either toss it off to the side or place it right between your lower legs. So hips, knees, and ankles are still as if they're on train tracks, but you're adding the compression below the knee. So this gives you a nice opportunity to strengthen the inner thighs, the outer thighs, inner knee, outer knee, and shins and calves in just a different way, a little bit of a different way. So now let's get into the chest. We kind of worked up the arm to the back of the body, to the lower back core, that last exercise, the hinge. Now we're going to go into the chest. So press the ball together, about medium to medium heavy pressure, scapular retraction, and lift the right arm up and lower, and then the left arm up. So you're doing a front shoulder raise, alternating arms right and left. If you feel you'd like to challenge your core a little bit more, do both arms at the same time. But notice the body might want to hoist and use this kind of momentum. I'm really exaggerating here. So, you might want to, if you feel that hoisting, the desire to hoist, and you don't feel like you can tone that down, then alternate right arm, left. But if you can stay lifted and tall, very rigid in your alignment, really pull your abs in, keeping the spine tall and lifted, continue with both arms. And you can actually go from shoulder height to all the way over the head. Full range of motion. And if you're alternating, you can also go right arm and left arm. And if you prefer to alternate, but you still want to increase the resistance and increase the challenge, as the arm is coming down on the right, the left arm's going up. So it'll be a little bit more challenging for the upper body as well as for your core. Stay lifted. But then again, there is a possibility where the body wants to go into this rhythm because it's easier than you're using momentum. So if that desire is there, just slow it down and alternate right arm and left arm. And let's go for 4 more. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Place the weight on the thighs. Roll the shoulders back a couple of times and then roll them forward. All right, we're almost done. This is a hard workout, guys. We're really thoroughly getting into all the muscle groups and breaking them down, getting nice and getting into those joints, the wrists, the elbows, the shoulders. So you may be fatigued already. Take a little break if you need to. Otherwise, we just have one more set. Nice tall spine, palms facing in. Start left and lower, and then right. And if going over the head like this is a little too much, just go to shoulder height. Palms are facing inward. If you feel you need a little more, over the head. If you feel you need a little more, scissor, scissor. And if you still want a little bit more, both. And let's try for 8 and 7. Press the ball between the ankles, 6 and 5. I'm going to take a peek, see how you guys are doing. And 4, looking good. I see ya. 3, thumbs up. And 2, and 1. Woo! All right, place the weights right there on your thighs. Take 2 deep breaths. Inhale and exhale. And one more in and exhale. All right, place both weights on one leg and you can grab the ball. If you didn't already toss it, you can toss it. We're done with the ball or pillow. There we go. All right. And now we're going to do a sit to stand. Kind of building on the theme of that lower back and the strength of our lower body and a hinge exercise. So if you prefer not to do a sit to stand, you have the opportunity to do a hinge. That hinge forward and back. And arms down at your side if you'd like. Otherwise, sit to stand with weights. Hang on to them. If you don't want to use your weights, just gently place them off to the side one at a time. Keep it close to your body and then gently move it away. You don't want to do both and far out. You want to keep the weight closer to the center of your body so that you're stronger. You're not going to stress your shoulder or your lower back if you're reaching too far out. Okay, so let's get started. Our heels are slightly behind the knees. The hands and weights are on the center of your thigh. Push into the heels and you're just going to sit to stand and then hands on thighs and slowly come back down. If you feel like, oh boy, I'm kind of tired, I don't think I should be doing my weights, then you can definitely put your weights off to the side. Weights are optional. And if you'd like to add more of a load, your arms are at your side instead of your thighs. Pushing into the heels and your toes are up. Driving the hips from the back to the forward and up position. Drive the hips back and then forward and up. Squeeze the glutes, the buttock muscles. Squeeze them together and feel the strength within the glute as well as the legs in getting your body up out of the chair and down. And let's just do days of the week more. How about that? Okay, days of the week. Let's start with Sunday. Sunday. That was yesterday. Today is. Tomorrow is. The day after that is. The next mill classes are going to be on. The start of the weekend is. Last Saturday. Whoops. Uh-oh. I messed that one up. And then we're back to Sunday. And Sunday. Okay, have a seat. Woo! Weights are where your hips crease and march it out. March, march, march. One of the best exercises for cardiovascular as well as lower body and core and posture, sit to stand. It's a very functional exercise. Really gets the heart rate going. All right, let's do another set, a final set. So hands at your side or all the way down. Brace your core. Feel free to modify. And here we go. Drive the hips back. Feel the connection of your heels, both of them, into the floor. Push the heels down and feel it travel up through the back of the ankle, through the soleus and the gastroc, the calves, the back of the knee, and the back of the upper thigh, the hamstring. The glute muscles, gluteus maximus, and when you're squeezing the buttock muscles together, you get a lot of the outer muscles as well, gluteus medius. Woo! Squeeze. Good. And let's do, how about months of the year? Oh my goodness, that means we have about 12 more, isn't it? Here we go. Let's start out with this month, March. Next month is April. Then we have May. I think summer is in June. Then we've got the 4th of July in, oops, July, there I go again. And then we have the month before September, we have August. And school usually starts in, and Halloween is usually in, always. And then Thanksgiving, November. And then we have December. And we have New Year's in January. And then last month was February. Woo! All right. Please slowly and safely put your weights down to the side. I'm bracing my core. I'm hinging. I'm supporting with my other arm. And I'm slowly lowering one weight down at a time. And then I'm gently rolling them out of the way and remembering where I put them. So when I get out of my chair later, I can remember, oh, there are those weights, so I don't accidentally stub my toe on them. Inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. Take the legs out nice and wide and just march, march, march. And then bring the legs in. So just a little added rotator in the hip and the shoulder. We're going to take the legs out, out, in, out, out, in. And then I'm going to channel my inner foci. I'm going to place my hands in front of my navel. Nice jazz hands, right? Jazzy, jazzy, right here. And then my hand is going to go out with the corresponding legs. So it's right, left, out, out, in. And I'm enjoying a nice rotator cuff workout. Shoulders are working. Hips are working. Abductor, adductor, out, out, in. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. And march it left, left and right. Inhale and exhale. And inhale. And keep marching. March, march, march. And march it wide. Woo! Remain lifted. March it in. March, march, march. And now we're going to go left, right. Out, out, in. Choreographer? Sure. Pick me. Jazz hands. Foci, foci. Out, out, in. And right king. Woo! Chicago. Look out. Here we go. BB Neuwirth. And out, out, in, and out, and in. Jazz hands. Spread your fingers. We were working really hard holding those weights and really crunching and munching and flexing our palms and our fingers. Now we're stretching them. And stretch. Keep going. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. March it out. Inhale. And exhale. Whew. And inhale. And exhale. Shake out arms and shake out legs. I hope we have time for a stretch. Oh my goodness. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay. Take the right foot forward. The heel is forward. Your toes are up. And you're working top of the foot, front of the leg, stretching the back. So from your hinge, come down and inhale and exhale. Lengthening that torso. I know you're tired, but keep on lengthening. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then point the toes down. Feel that big toe pushing into the floor. Notice how that arch feels. Should really feel nice and strong. Press that big toe down. Point your toes. And then slowly come up. Slide that left leg back. You have 2 pinwheels. You have a back foot that's perpendicular to the floor. And then you're gently twisting away from that left leg. Twist to the right. Lengthen the torso and twist. and then slowly uncurl. And let's just do a pinwheel to the other side. So I'm sitting in a very grounded, supportive way on my left glute. My right leg is at that pinwheel 90-degree angle. My foot is perpendicular to the floor. Squeeze the right glute, pelvic tilt, lift, lengthen, lift, and twist away from that right leg. So I'm going over my left shoulder. And then slowly back to center, flex that left foot, and the heel is pressing down, so apply a little bit of pressure. Imagine you're making an imprint on an exercise mat or a towel or carpet that's right underneath your heel, and then the toes are coming way up. Stretch those toes. Hinge from the hip, abs tight. Hinge, hinge, hinge. And then slowly up, then press the big toe of that left foot down. Press, press, press. Lengthen the upper torso. Keep stretching that leg out. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then slowly come up. Interlace your arms behind you, stretching front shoulders, chest and bicep, forearm. That's a new muscle, bicep, forearm. Looking up and looking down and looking up and looking down. Then look straight ahead, interlace the arms in front, stretching the forearms, tricep, back of the shoulder, rhomboids between the shoulder blades. Just stretch those shoulders apart and then lift it all the way up. Reach, reach, reach. And then all the way up and out. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then all the way up. And relax the arms down. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. You made it. Nice job. All right. Good work, guys. All right. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Sorry I kept you 2 minutes late. Go out and enjoy some of that gorgeous sunshine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Can I
All
use
right.
Michelle.
can I use this for the instead of the ball?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, a yoga block is perfect. And if it sometimes gets a little bit too hard because you are squeezing a bit, you could wrap it with a towel. But yeah, you can absolutely use a yoga block. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hey.
Have a beautiful day. Bye, Jennifer. Bye, Marilyn.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Teresa.
Bye, Baby.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Here.
Bye, Marilyn. Bye, Donna.
Bye.
Thanks, Michelle.